I ran back to see if they were okay, but they weren't.
It happened right in front of them. Santa Fe teens described the crash that killed 4 of their friends and left a 5th clinging to life. Now, the latest in a string of tragedies that have cast a cold chill over New Mexico's spring and summer.
First, it was a child murdered and buried in a park, then a mid-schooler swept away in the Rio Grande. The fatal crash of a rescue helicopter later, then the discovery of 3 long-missing boys dead in a submerged car. And now, another wrong-way DWI catastrophe. News 13's Jessica Gattates is in the Newsplex.
Friends of the victims watched it all happen.
I was the car right behind it.
4 carloads of kids headed to a party late Saturday night in El Dorado. Clay Kinnard was in one of those cars. He saw a silver Jeep plow into his friend Avery Kaufman's car, which 4 other teens were also riding in.
Was traveling in the middle of the road, and then he swerved over into the wrong side of the road, and Avery swerved out of the way, and he T-boned her, and the car flipped around once.
Kinnard and friends in the other cars ran to help and called 911.
I was trying to yell their names, and my friend Mikkel shined a light on them, and I just saw them laying there.
Santa Fe 911, where is your emergency?
Las Vegas Highway.
Friends who saw everything made tearful and frantic calls to 911.
Tell someone to get out here. It's really bad. I mean, half the car's gone.
Okay, sir. Are there injuries?
I think people might be dead.
You can hear sobs and screams in the background.
Oh, my God. Please, come quick.
As friends felt helpless waiting for paramedics.
They got hit. I don't know if any of them, they're bleeding. I don't know what to do.
After checking, the teens tell the dispatcher most of their friends don't have pulses. Then one of the teens checks on the driver of the Jeep, Scott Owens.
Hello, are you okay? I don't know.
Police believe Owens was drunk when he hit the teens.
He's struggling for the pads on I don't know what. I mean, he sounds pretty drunk or out of it. I have no idea.
Driver 16-year-old Avery Kaufman was the only survivor in her car. Her friends say she was pounding on the glass after the wreck, but they couldn't help her get out because they didn't want to move her. Dick?
All right, Jessica, Avery Kaufman's at UNM Hospital. The hospital has now blocked all information about her condition.
The teens' schools each held memorial services for them today. 15-year-old Rose Simmons and 16-year-old Julian Martinez attended Monte del Sol Charter School, where nearly 200 people gathered this afternoon to remember them.
He had a lot of love for everybody. He didn't make any judgments. And I think that's why the kids loved him so much.
Actually talking about her coming with me on that trip for about a week beforehand, and then on the last day she just decided she didn't want to come. I said it was no problem, you know. I'll see her in a couple of days.
This morning, mourners gathered at Santa Fe Prep, where 16-year-olds Alyssa Trow and Kate Klein attended. Counselors were there for the students and faculty who needed them.
It's going to be tough. The start of school is going to have a very different feel.
Funeral arrangements are still pending for all 4 teens.
Rose Simmons was the youngest victim. As News 13's Jim Winchester reports, her family and friends have heavy hearts but happy memories.
Me and Rose met at church.
For a few minutes this afternoon, pictures and memories allowed Zoe Manick to forget about the pain of losing a best friend.
The first time we hung out, she came to my house and we made yellow Jell-O and we dyed each other's hair. And then we decided every time that we got together from then out, we had to make yellow Jell-O and we had to dye each other's hair.
To change your hair color
a lot. She's actually naturally blonde.
While Zoe showed us a MySpace page filled with happy memories, Rose's father spoke of his daughter's passion for the environment.
Just amazing kid all the way.
Rose would clean up parks, work to plant trees, and even remind people not to litter.
Rose was kind of a mentor to a bunch of kids. She's always been like that. You know, don't do that. This group of kids is amazing. This is what you hope your kids are going to do.
Committed to causes, but light of heart. That's how family and friends will remember Rose.
I don't know, we cracked up about everything. I think she's probably laughing at us a little bit.
How so?
She's laughing.
And other friends told me today that Rose was a sweetheart who never got upset, never got agitated, and gave out hugs. Ironically, those friends today were hugging each other for support. Dick, back to you.
Okay, Jim, Rose's dad told us he would support ignition interlocks on all vehicles.
It could be a while before we know for sure whether the driver of the wrong-way Jeep was drunk. Investigators questioned 28-year-old Scott Owens extensively today. Deputies on scene said Owens smelled of alcohol, but he refused to submit to a breath or blood test. A judge later signed a warrant forcing him to give a blood sample. Results are expected within a couple of weeks. Owens is charged with 4 counts of vehicular homicide and 1 count of great bodily harm by vehicle. He has 1 prior DWI. Stay with News 13 and KRQE.com for continuing coverage as this story develops.